We all know that with the time, our data is increasing at the exponential level. Nowadays, managing 1 or 2 GB data is not the big thing. Usually, we have the data set in the hundreds of GBs or the TVs. So, how we can manage that data set? To manage that data set, we require some advanced tools. Till now, we have covered the concepts of the pandas and these things, but PySpark. Spark is the, you can say, tool or the technology which have been developed by the Apache, and it helps you to distribute your data or distribute your processing into multiple users. You can say multiple machines or the workers. Machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4. This has had the capability to divide your task into multiple machines together. This is the functionality of the PySpark, of the Spark. And when we use that Spark with the Python, when that Spark has been combined with the Python, then that is called the PySpark. We have the specific PySpark library available in the Python. Our main use case is that whenever there is used dataset, then we use the PySpark. This is the, you can see the analogy or the example. For example, there are 10,000 answer sheets which need to be checked. If one teacher check all the answer sheet, then that will require the huge amount of time, and it will be overburden for one teacher. If we divided that thing into 20 to 25 teachers, then the workload will also be divided, and the burden of the teacher is managed. Your work will become fast, and the overloading will be minimized there. Similar approach is for the PySpark. PySpark divide your work into multiple workers, and then it helps you to avoid the overloading. Plus, your work will be completed in a very less time as compared to the single worker. Now, Pandas is used to manage the small to medium data size. PySpark large data set. It works on the single machine, multiple machines, local RAM, distributed memory, because there are multiple machines, or you have divided the one machine into multiple parts also. The memory have been divided into multiple parts of the single machine. It is good for the small data. It is good for the big data set. Mainly PySpark is used for the data engineering pipeline. SQL is used to query the dataset, but when our dataset is loaded into multiple different sources and you want to combine that thing, then PySpark obviously works better because it handles the huge dataset in an efficient manner, plus it also handles the multiple sources. We are using the PySpark because ETL, ELT pipelines are developed using the PySpark. PySpark is one of the most important components. Data lake processing, lakehouse architecture, batch processing, stream processing. These are the use cases which we will cover slowly. All the use cases. Large joins, data cleaning, feature engineering, report pipelines. There are many use cases. We will try to cover as many as use cases in our lectures. For example, we have some raw data from the e-commerce website. We have cleaned invalid records. Then we have joined that customer with the product data, calculated daily revenue, created the final reporting table. If our data set is heavy, then we have to use the PySpark. We can't depend on the pandas. You can say our raw data source is stored in the CSV JSON database API. We have inserted that raw data set into a bronze layer as it is. We have done nothing there, no transformation. Then civil layer, we have removed the duplicates, cleaned some unwanted data set, handled the null value. In the golden layer, we have converted the data set into a business use case according to business needs. We applied the business logic there. And finally, we have uploaded data set to the ML users. So you can say PySpark is one of the most important component in the data engineering. Why? Because it helps you to manage the huge data set efficiently. Pandas also helps you to manage the data set, but it is used for only small to medium size. But PySpark is used for the practical huge data sets. To install the PySpark, first thing is you should have the Python installed, then you have to install the Java, then the PySpark. Let me tell you how to do that. Open the command prompt first, open the fresh instance of the command prompt, get the version which we are using, Python 3.13. This is the sufficient version, it should be 3.10. Installing the Python is the simplest part. You can install it. Then in the second part, check the Java version. Although in the most of you don't have the Java, so what you have to do, open this URL. To get the notes, you can download the notes from the GitHub profile. My GitHub profile. The link is given in the description, or if you didn't find the link, you can ask me in the comment box also. Open this link. Again, I am saying don't go for the latest version, because latest version sometimes is not compatible with the PySpark. So recommended version is below 21 version, 17 or 21. You can download the 21 version, go to the Windows, all the Linux, Mac OS and the Windows part is available here. You can download it directly. Once you have downloaded, you can easily install it, and once you have installed, you can check which version you do have. I have installed the 21 version. Now after that, this is the most important part. You have to set up the environment variable. To do that, environment variable, go to the disk PC, C drive, program files, search for the Java, and this one. Copy this path. This path will be used at the Java home. Now open the environment variable window. To open the environment variable window, search for the environment, edit the system environment. Now you will get two things. Add environment value for your account. No, not this part. You have to choose this system environment variable. Open this. Now this screen will be appear. Open this thing, environment variables. Now add here. You can easily add new. You can give the Java home. Name it the Java home, capital Java, then underscore home. I have already given that path. Then you can copy paste the path here. Okay, and the Java home. Okay, your path will be initialized here. Again, I am saying you should be extra careful to copy the path, and you have to create the path in the system variable, not the user variable. Okay, now this part we have already done. Now to check whether our path is correct or not, we copy this command, echo Java home, run this command in the command prompt. Correct. Our path is correct now. If your path is not correct, then it will throw the error. Remember. Now this, you have to create the separate environment. Never ever create the install PySpark in the same environment which you have installed Pandas and everything, because PySpark requires some different version of the Pandas and the NumPy and every library, but you are using some different kind of versions, so it will give a class and nothing will work then. So it is a recommended part. You have to create the new environment for it. How we can do this? Open the Anaconda prompt, conda create, and PySpark environment. This is the name of the, and means we are defining the name, and the name is PySpark environment, and you have to install the Python 3.11. You have to use the Python 3.11. Here underscore y means, hyphen y means you are defaulting y, yes, for further steps. So it will not ask you anything later on. It will give the yes. You have given the permission for the further steps. I have already created this environment, so I will not create that. You can run this command. Then you have to activate this, conda activate PySpark environment. This will initialize your environment. See, this is the base environment, this is the PySpark environment. Now after that, you can install the PySpark. You can install PySpark, Jupyter and Pandas, and PyArrow also. Option for the SQL, but install it. Then you can easily, now you don't have to run the Jupyter notebook from the you don't have to run the Jupyter notebook from the UI. Always you have to run this command, Jupyter notebook. Only after switching to that profile. Once you have switched to this environment, then only you will run the Jupyter notebook. because if you done in the normal environment, then you don't have the PySpark available there. Now you will have the now your file will be open here. Okay, now you can open your code, and then this is the normal. Now you can create the new Python file, and you can execute the PySpark and import the PySpark also. Thank you. For any question, you can ask me question in the comment box.